The crystalline throne room of the Zetharian Empire stretched endlessly, its walls pulsing with bioluminescent patterns that hurt Jackson's eyes. He stood perfectly still, hands clasped behind his back, maintaining the disciplined posture that had kept him alive for 3 years in this gilded cage. Beside him, Elsa shifted her weight slightly. Her auburn hair, now grown past her shoulders, caught the alien light. She was the only other human in this sector of the galaxy, captured from the same colony ship that had been their doom. Princess Zathara descended from her elevated platform, her 6 crystalline limbs clicking against the polished floor. Behind her, the Emperor's advisors watched with their multifaceted eyes, their chitinous bodies motionless. The princess was young by their standards, barely 2 centuries old, and her recent ascension to maturity meant she required a companion for the sacred bonding ceremony. "These are your choices, my daughter." The Emperor's voice resonated through translation implants embedded in every creature's neural cortex. "Select your bonded guardian from among our finest war beasts." Jackson's jaw tightened. War beasts. That's what they called the conquered species kept as pets and servants. The Zetharians had ruled this quadrant for millennia, collecting specimens from defeated civilizations like trophies. In the center of the room stood the candidates. A Craxan warrior, 9 feet of scaled muscle and razor claws, a morphid shapeshifter, its body constantly flowing between forms, a sentinel drone, its metallic frame bristling with weapons. And then there was Jackson and Elsa, representatives of humanity, the newest addition to the Zetharian menagerie. "The Craxan is strong," Zathara said, her translator rendering her clicks and whistles into standard galactic speech. "But predictable." She moved past the morphid without comment, then paused at the sentinel. Efficient, emotionless, boring. Then her compound eyes fixed on the humans. Jackson felt Elsa tense beside him. "What are these again?" Zathara asked, leaning closer. "They seem so fragile." "Humans, Your Highness," an advisor supplied, "from the 3rd planet of a yellow dwarf star. Primitive. They had barely achieved faster-than-light travel when we encountered them." "Fragile," Zathara repeated, reaching out with one crystalline appendage to touch Jackson's face. He didn't flinch. No natural armor. No venom. No enhanced strength. How did such creatures even survive their own world? Jackson spoke then, unable to contain himself. "We adapt." The room fell silent. War beasts didn't speak unless spoken to directly. Zathara's eyes widened with something that might have been amusement. "It speaks. How curious. Explain yourself, human." Jackson took a breath. 3 years of captivity, of watching his fellow humans die in the fighting pits, of swallowing his rage, it all came to the surface. But he channeled it carefully. "Your Highness asks how we survived? We're not the strongest, not the fastest. We don't have armor or claws or the ability to breathe in space." He stepped forward. "But we endure. We problem solve. We build. We create. And when necessary, we fight with everything we have." "Pretty words," the Emperor interjected. "But we've seen your species fight. You fall easily. You break." "We fall," Elsa said quietly, speaking for the first time. "But we get back up." Zathara's attention shifted to her. "Both of you, then. You would both serve as my bonded guardians?" "We're a package deal," Jackson said. "Humans work better in pairs. It's how we're wired." This was a lie. But the Zetharians didn't know enough about human psychology to dispute it, and Jackson wasn't about to be separated from the only other human in this nightmare. The princess clicked her mandibles thoughtfully. "My father, I choose these 2. The humans." The Emperor's surprise rippled through the room. "Daughter, they are the weakest, which makes my choice more interesting, does it not?" Zathara interrupted. "If they fail, I will simply select another." "But if they succeed?" She turned back to Jackson and Elsa. If you succeed in protecting me through the trials of ascension, I will grant you one request. Any request within my power." Jackson and Elsa exchanged glances. The trials of ascension. They'd heard whispers. 3 tests designed to prove a royal's worthiness to rule. 3 tests where previous generations of guardians had died protecting their charges. "Freedom," Jackson said immediately. "If we succeed, we want freedom for all humans in Zetherian captivity." The Emperor's laughter echoed like shattering glass. "Ambitious. I approve. Very well. Serve my daughter through the trials, and your people go free. Fail, and your species remains in our collections forever." As the ceremony concluded and they were led away to the princess's quarters, Elsa whispered to Jackson, "Do you actually have a plan?" Jackson's expression was grim but determined. "We do what humans do best. We improvise, we adapt, we overcome. And if that doesn't work?" He looked at her, and she saw the steel in his eyes, the same steel that had driven humanity from caves to stars. "Then we make them regret ever underestimating us. They think we're pets? We'll show them what happens when you cage apex predators." Elsa smiled despite everything. "Humanity, fuck yeah." "Humanity, fuck yeah," Jackson confirmed. Ahead of them, Princess Zathera glanced back with her alien eyes, perhaps sensing she had chosen more than simple war beasts. She had chosen something far more dangerous, humans with nothing left to lose and everything to fight for. The trials would begin at dawn. The galaxy was about to learn why humanity had earned its place among the stars, not through strength or armor, but through sheer, unbreakable will. End.